intensification of the perception of death to the universalization of the perception of death. And we do this somewhat like we do the extension of metta or loving kindness. Okay, we start first again with ourself, recognizing I must die. I'm moving ever closer to death. Then expand your mind to encompass everyone in this hall. Everyone in this hall must die. We are all moving ever closer to death. Now think of all of the members of your household or all your family members. Everybody in my household will die. They are all moving ever closer, moment by moment, to death. Then think of everybody in the United States. Everybody in this country must die. We are all moving ever closer, moment by moment, to death. Now think of everybody in North America, from Canada, the US, and Mexico. Everybody in North America must die. We are all moving ever closer, moment by moment, to death. Then extend the perception of death to Central America, including the Caribbean islands. Everybody in Central America must die. They are all moving ever closer to death. Then move down to South America. Encompass all of these people in your mind's eye and generate the thought, everyone in South America must die. They are all moving ever closer to death. Then extend the thought or the perception of death to Europe and generate the thought, all the people of Europe must die. They are all moving ever closer, moment by moment, to death. Then move your mind down to Africa and bring all of the people of Africa into your mind's eye and generate the thought, all the people of Africa must die. They are all moving ever closer, moment by moment, to death. Then extend your mind over Asia, a very large continent. So we'll break it down into parts. The Middle East and Gulf states. All of the people in this region must die. They are all moving ever closer to death. And South Asia, South and Southeast Asia, India, Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam. All the people of Southeast Asia must die. They are moving ever closer to death. Then East Asia, China, Korea, Japan, Taiwan, all the people of East Asia must die. They are moving ever closer, moment by moment, to death. Then the region, Australia, New Zealand, Pacific Islands. All of these people must die. They are moving ever closer to death. And then embrace in your mind the entire planet Earth, and all its 7.3 billion people, and generate the thought, all the people in the world, in this world, must die. We are all moving ever closer, moment by moment, to death. And then extend the mind to cover all sentient beings in all realms of existence. In the Buddhist cosmology, the hell realms, the animal realm, the realm of the hungry ghosts, the human realm, and the various heavenly or celestial realms. And then generate the thought, all sentient beings in all realms of existence are subject to death. They are all moving ever closer, moment by moment, towards death. And then just dwell on this universality of death for a couple of minutes. That all beings, human beings and all other living beings, are subject to death, moving ever closer to death. And sometimes, because the meditation on death can sometimes create a certain mood of anxiety, worry, sorrow, agitation, to close the meditation, it's good sometimes to just briefly advert the mind to the blessing power of the triple gem. Bring to mind the greatness of the Buddha and the great compassion of the Bodhisattvas and the blessing power of the Dhamma and the blessing power of the Aryan Sangha, of all the great arahants who have attained Nibbana. Okay, and then you can come back to your body. And then just slowly and mindfully you can relax and open your eyes. And we can rejoice, even though the topic of meditation on death might not be the most pleasant topic to meditate on, but we could rejoice that I think most of us here have spent the whole day meditating on this. And the Buddha praises the meditation on death, as I said at the beginning. He says that the meditation on death is of great fruit, of great benefit. It leads to the deathless. It culminates in the deathless. So we've taken at least a few steps in the direction of the deathless. Okay, if there's any practical questions, I have some time, just a couple of minutes. Then we have to clear out in 5 minutes because the nuns will come in for the evening service.
Bhante, I believe we described the earlier recollections in this series as being samadhi meditations, and I don't know if this recollection of death would also be considered.
It can bring a kind of samadhi. It's not the jhanic samadhi, but one begins by using, in the initial stages, a lot of discursive thought, because one has to get familiar with the topic. But as one uses discursive thought, the faculty of thinking is gradually giving way to what is called the perception of death, where you're not so much thinking about it, but this is what I tried to generate in the last session, to bring up, just by focusing one-pointedly on that thought, death is bound to take place, I'm bound to die. In time, the thought sort of falls away and the perception of death comes up. And then that becomes the basis for, it's not the full deep samadhi of absorption, but it's a kind of, I think, like access concentration. Does somebody else have a question? Okay, so then we can end for the day with the sharing of the merits. So we think of how much merits we've gotten by, really it requires diligence, it requires courage to undertake the meditation on death. Courage, faith, conviction, determination, to really look at this fact of our own mortality, something most people out in the world are always trying to hide from this. And so we use, when we speak about death, we use euphemisms. Oh, he passed away. Oh, the late, let's see, James Brown. Or he's done, in Pali, they have the expression kala kirya for death. He's done his time, completed his time. You know, so it takes courage and conviction to pull away these veils of illusion and to give up the distractions and to really look death in the face. And when we do that, first it turns out that death is not really that terrible. And, you know, if we believe the Buddha's teaching, we've done it millions of times, billions of times in the past. You know, so it's not going to be a once and only time that we die at the end of this life. And then when we look death in the face, then we build up that kind of mind with which we can face death when it actually comes to us. Hopefully at the end of a long and fruitful lifetime, but we never know. It might be this afternoon, tonight, tomorrow, we don't know. But if we practice, when death comes, we have that tool, that equipment. We just pull it out of our toolbox, and there it is. We can face death and go through the death process without panic, without fear, without grief and agitation. And when we go through the death process calmly with equanimity, then we can move on through the death process peacefully to our next existence. Okay, so let us end. I'm going to recite the verses for the sharing of the merits with the devas who are rejoicing. Can you hear them rejoicing? And the bhutas, or the fear spirits, the naga spirits, and all beings. Akasata chabumata deva naga mahidika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakantu sasanang. Akasata chabumata deva naga mahidika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakantu desanang. Akasata chabumata deva naga mahidika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakantu mang parang. Etavatacham hehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe devanumodantu sabbe bhutanumodantu sabbe satanumodantu sabba sampati siddhya bhavagupadaya vichihetato etantare satakayupapanna rupya rupicha sanya sanino dukkha pamuchantu pusantu nibuting. Okay, then you say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, then we can end the session. We all stand up and we'll end with 3 half bows to the Buddha.